Hey, short video. I think I finally have the body done. So got everything painted. Told you I got the runs in the rocker, and I came back out yesterday and excuse me, and did this rocker again. So I think I managed to get it done this time without getting runs in it. Everything's finished. In all the years I've done this stuff, I tried something yesterday. I was not sure it was going to work, but it was bugging me. So being as anal as I am, right under here, you can see some of the like little factory, whatever, welds and things, and sanding on it. I apparently had just rubbed through a little bit and had a little bit of silver metal showing. I mean, it was small. It was the size of, I don't know, 2 millimeters maybe. It was just inconsequential. It was a little bitty thing. But silver stood out like hell. I'd already put a coat of clear on here, and it was just laying so nice. I'm like, really? Seriously? Now, nobody's ever going to see that under there, but it was there. So I tried something, never done it before. I actually had 2 coats of the PPG 2021 on. I let it flash probably 20 minutes and then just mixed up a little bit of base coat because it ain't going to touch the clear. I just wasn't sure what was going to happen. And I just airbrushed just a little bit on top of that and then buried it under some more clear. You can't even see it. And it's on the bottom. So then I put another coat over everything. Anyway, it turned out good. So you can do that. Had a little clear, found a boo-boo, little base coat, and then clear on top of it. I wouldn't do a large area, but it works. You can do that. And then I ran into, today I'm going down to Jegs to pick up brake lines. Because obviously my brake lines, if you can see them over there, were nasty, rusty. And then another issue, just like like I've said all along, you build these things and crap happens. So hopefully I'm not going to shoot myself in the foot this time. But I went and found, so these are the rear discs on the Trans Am. And I had sandblasted them, so, they look like crap. Yeah, I know I can rebuild these. I started to, but I found them for $60, supposedly all rebuilt. And I thought, hell, for $60, I've watched videos where guys had some issues rebuilding these things and getting them back in. I'm like, and then I broke off a nipple, or there was one cracked. I don't know if I did it, but yeah, you hate when you break a nipple, right? So anyway, I went ahead and ordered them, and the box came in, and on the box they had marked out the part number and written in another part number. And I knew I was going to have an issue as soon as I saw that. So, yeah, that's what happened. I got the new one in because one had to come from somewhere else. And I was surprised because it had everything. This one came in and it had, which I can't even find these anywhere. I don't know how. Well, I'll tell you where I got them from here in a minute, but these were new spring, new bracket, and it is exactly this. Oops, sorry. It is exactly the same as the old one. Let's see. was like, holy crap. So thing was, it was the opposite one. Not a big deal because I had to order them both anyway. But because the one that was in this was the second box. The one that was in the first box, driver's side, was labeled as a passenger side, which it wasn't. And so I had to send it back. Hopefully, they said there was one available. Hopefully, it's from the same rebuilder, because these are all rebuilt. And for 60 bucks, got to do that. So there's who had it. And any others I've seen did not have parts. So hopefully I can get mine before anybody else figures this out. And it was at O'Reilly's, of all places. All the big Camaro Parks networks, Firebirds, nobody had these things. And I just, you just start looking and they had them. So I'll let you know if those came in. I have found a couple more, and I'm just going to have to see. I'm not worried about it. I'll post that later if it turns out they've got them. But the other thing I've got to do is my old booster. This pro valve is froze up. Tried to take it apart. Master cylinder has gunk in it. I mean, this car, you can tell it's been through the ringer. But I have found, so there was a place called brakeboosters.com or Get Brake Boosters that rebuilds these. And all they do is put new parts in it. I think they might sandblast it, and then they'll put a finish on it. And it's like 350 bucks. I'm waiting on a call back now because I think through Napa, they will send this back to Cardone, and they'll do the same thing. And their price on their own rebuilds is like $100. So kind of got no choice. Got to try something, because nobody makes these. You have to use your originals. I got to find somebody that will rebuild a pro valve, because the little shuttle valve that goes in here that'll move back and forth. And what that does is, if you don't know, your brake lines go in. This is your brake problem light, if you want, whatever you want to call it. And there's a little valve, so rear, front, there's a little valve that slides back and forth in here. So if you lose front brakes, the pressure from here pushes the valve that way, shuts off the front, and you'll do that. Or if you lose the back, it'll shift it that way. That thing is froze up in there. I can't get it loose. So somehow I've got to try to get that rebuilt. And then master cylinder. I'm just now starting to look for these to see if I can find the right one. There's a place, they will rebuild them and put a new stainless sleeve in it. I think same place, brakes.com. I haven't checked with Cardone yet, but they're like 325, 350 bucks. And gotta save money somewhere, so just trying to do that. So that was a kind of a big deal, finding these. There's a place called, oh hell, it's I'll have to look it up again. It was Fire Chicken or Chicken something fire, I don't remember, .com. And they were making brackets, but they were not interchangeable. So they said they made their own, but they're like, I want to say like $200 a set, something like that. And A year ago, they were half that price, but everything doubled. So I've got to find that. Anybody that's got any heads up on master cylinders or pro valve, where to get things done, drop me a line. And then the other thing I've got to line up is I got to start bending the exhaust pieces. I've got to go find the correct seals for here, because that block that's normally on them was in here. Normally they just take the little, donuts. This one's going to be a little different because I'm taking that whole EGR, whatever part that is in there, I'm taking that out, and I'm just going to get the gasket that slips in here. And then I'll have some drops made the same shape. I'll just leave 3 or 4 foot on them, and then I will do my own pipe. Kind of a pain in the ass, but it's no more work than trying to get a car down to somebody that can do exhaust. So I have always bought these from Walker. They still make these things. They come with the tips already done. They're pre-bent. It makes it easy. And you can find those at Rock Auto or any place. There's one they gotta start making again, but that way I can do the whole back end by myself. I can set the mufflers where I want them, and all I need once I've done these is just I'll tell you the easiest way I did it. I just took a piece of cardboard and a piece of conduit, 1.5-inch conduit stuff. Like I keep a lot of that up there. And I just set it in the center and bend it to where I want the pipe. I go down to the muffler guy. We bend one piece of pipe, because to get from the drop there to the muffler, you can do it in one 6-foot, 7-foot piece. And then factory stuff in here does the rest. And it looks great. And that's for a true dual exhaust. That's not for a transverse muffler. And then I'm going to try a different muffler. I've always used Flowmaster 40s, but they drone. If you're running down the road, it drives your ears crazy. So I'm going to try something else. Not sure what. Any suggestions? Let me know. I'm not going to use a Baborla or a Pipes or anything like that. I had Pipes. They were okay. There's one, I can't think of the name of it right now, but just want to try something different. So anyway, that was that. Just a little tip on what would clean this up. And now we're going to run down and get the brake lines, fuel lines, and I'm actually going to buff all of this before I do anything, because buffing makes a mess. And then we will pull all the paper, get the lines back on. And there's not that much work to finish this. That's pretty much just buffing here, there, top of the T-top. That's all that's painted. I'm not going to do anything in here, because as you can see, it turned out pretty nice. And since it's in the jams, that's hard to buff anyway. So we're just going to do that. So this week I'll be doing some buffing. I'll make sure I film some of that and what I use. And these, since it's a solid red, these pieces can wait. And winter's coming, leaves are falling, so I'll be in my happy shop most of the winter, and we'll see if we can finish this thing up. That's all for now. Bye.